Alright, hey boysies, how yous doing? How yous doing in this fine day? We're coming to you live from the dusty old Manlin Home video store, and if you take a wee look at the calendar, you'll see it's actually the spookiest time of year. So I've decided to celebrate by going through all of the Halloween movies and ranking them from dog shit to clearance bin at Global Video to it's fine to pretty good to horror classic, because this is a series that varies wildly in quality. But I figure we might as well start off scrolling down, and here we've got all the movies there, including a little bonus one, which we'll get to when we get to. So we'll start off, of course, with the first one, Halloween, The Night He Came Home. So Halloween wasn't the first slasher movie, but it was the one that set the blueprint for slasher movies going forward. I remember a friend said to me, "I've never seen it. How is it?" And I was like, "It's fucking amazing. It's there'll be a lot of which got stuff like, how do I say it? Stuff that's cliche now, but this is the movie that made it, because fuck me, it's such a simple yet effective movie. Michael Myers is such an effective killer. And then you have a really good final girl in Laurie Strode or Jamie Lee Curtis, following her mum's footsteps into slasher movies after her mum was in Psycho. But aye, Halloween 1's a classic, really effective, and John Carpenter's just really fucking good. Everything, like the music, everything in the movie is very simple, but it works really well, and it's really well put together. It's got there's a lot of this movie influence that is even outside of horror movies. Like, look at wrestling, Kane and Undertaker, they stole so much from Michael Myers, including like the big sit up and all that shit. But aye, Halloween 1's fucking great, really effective, has one of my favourite endings of all time in a horror movie. And boys, there's nowhere else you can really put it apart from the horror classic. But Halloween 1 was very successful. I believe it's one of the most, well, excuse me boysies, one of the most successful independent movies at the time, I believe. And that meant Halloween 2 appeared. Now, Halloween 2 is not nearly as good. In fact, Halloween 2, John Carpenter admitted that he kind of shat this out. He written this one, I don't think he directed it, but it's a definite step down. This is when they introduced the whole Laurie Strode and Michael Myers' sister thing, which I don't really like, but I guess they want to try and find a reason. I find it scarier that Laurie just happened to be there. Like, that's it. There was no, like, Michael doesn't have a thing. He's just like, yep, you just happened to be there. That's why I'm going to hunt you down and kill you, because you just happened to get in the way. That's a lot scarier than, oh, some destined bond, which we get into later on. Halloween 2 does have one fucking hilarious bit though, where one guy who happens to look like Michael Myers or dress like Michael Myers is walking down the street and a police car just rams into him and blows up. It's absolutely mental. The ending's really cool though, with Loomis fighting them in the hospital and it's all burning down and shit like that. But yeah, they basically definitively put an end to Michael Myers here and go, right, that's it, Halloween 3 is going to be something else. So Halloween 2, I'm going to put it in, I don't know if I put it in pretty good or it's fine. We'll put it in that's fine for now. It might move up, might move down. We'll see how it goes. Then we have Halloween 3. Now, this one was not liked at a time. In fact, this one was quite a controversial one because this one does not feature Michael Myers. This one is its own story about haunted masks and a big company that's got to do a big pagan sacrifice and bring Halloween back to its roots. This one's really unique and really cool and very different. But I think that's why people hate it so much. But I think over time it's became obviously a lot more... It's like a bit more like a cult hit. People are now realising this movie is actually really fucking good. And you know what? I'd probably say it's the second best in the series. I really like Season of the Witch. But oh, right, I'll put it... Yeah, I'll put it in horror. Oh, I don't know if I should put it in horror classic or top pretty good. I'll put it in horror classic for now. I can move up and move down. But then, after the kind of failure of Halloween 3, they originally planned to make Halloween 4 a ghost story. I read that on Wikipedia, so it must be true. And then they decided we'll bring back Michael Myers. Jamie Lee Curtis will come back. Let's give her a niece. No, let's give Michael Myers a niece that needs to hunt down and murder. This is when I think the rot sets in. Actually, this movie isn't bad. It's not particularly good, but it's not bad. I know people will like stand by this movie and say it's the best one, but just like Halloween 2, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. I will admit, I like the end. This is when they bring in the whole family curse thing, which goes down a fucking, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not great, the whole family curse thing. But I kind of like the ending, how it shows that Michael's evil's infected his niece and she attacks someone. That's kind of cool. That was effective. But where this goes. That's the thing. I think I hate this movie. Not hate this. I think I dislike this movie because I know where that plot line goes. Kind of like, you know, if you watch Force Awakens, you know it ends at Rise of Skywalker. So even though Force Awakens was good and Last Jedi was good, just like, oh, Rise of Skywalker, I know where all these plot lines are going. So I think I'm gonna say it's fine, because overall it's a fine slasher movie. Nowhere near as good as Halloween 1, but it's fine for what it is, you know. Then we have Halloween 5, right? Whoo! This is when it gets mental. Michael lives, and this time they're ready. So this is when they introduce that Michael and his niece have a psychic connection, and he's trying to hunt her down, kill her. Now, actually, one thing I forgot to say: Halloween 4 has a big dip in the mask department, because this is what the mask looks like in Halloween 4. Because I'm not gonna lie and say that the mask is, I don't want to say cheap. It looks effective in 1 because it is. It's just like a painted William Shatner mask. It was maybe a clown mask, but they went with a William Shatner mask, which I think they inadvertently made something amazing. Then it just looks cheap in it, like really cheap in this one. And then in Halloween 5, oh, Michael, oh no, that is not a look. That looks awful. But that's, everything is off in this movie, so put us in clearance aisle, because this is when they introduced the Thorn Cult. I think it's the Thorn Cult. I think that's what they're called. But basically, it ends with Michael Myers getting all fucked up, and he gets, like, if I remember, oh no, I'm getting my movies confused. So at the end of 4, he falls down a mine shaft or something like that, and they throw dynamite down and make sure he's dead. But at the start of 5, he spends a year with a hermit who nurses him back to health, and then murders him. Like a blind hermit, like he's fucking Frankenstein or some shit like that. But aye, it's not a fan of 5. Oh, and 5 ends with him, ends with the fucking Thorn Cult attacking the police station, and then the Man in Black sort of going, oh, Michael's released, and it's all going to happen again. Now, Halloween 5 is not great, but it does lead into Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, which, boys, is incomprehensible garbage. It stars a very young Paul Rudd as Tommy Jarvis. No, Tommy Jarvis is... yeah, it's Tommy Jarvis. I was getting confused with your man from Friday the 13th, who's... We'll worry about that when that video comes. But yeah, he plays the child in the first one, like all grown up, and now he's tied up in Michael Myers' business again. Well, hey. And the Thorn Cult are in full swing. They're trying to, I believe, impregnate his niece with Michael's seed, so it'll bring the Antichrist. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie. Now, I know there are 2 versions of this movie, and I've seen the one that ends with Michael getting stuck by the rocks. That's as much as I know about it, because I watched it once and went, this is fucking dog shit. This is awful, and I've never went back and watched it. So aye, Curse of Michael Myers, dog shit bottom. After that, after the whole Thorn Cult and like that's the thing, I feel when you explain Michael Myers, it doesn't get scary, it gets stupid, you know? So they thought, fuck it, let's ignore everything apart from Halloween 2. Let's say that Laurie faked her death, because they say in Halloween 4 that she died or she disappeared, I can't remember exactly. Then we have Halloween H2O, which is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie and say it's amazing, but it's very much, actually, you know what, I'm gonna move Halloween 4 here. I'm gonna put H2O in pretty good. Now H2O, it does some cool stuff with the whole sort of Laurie having a daughter. Oh no, it's a son, sorry, is it a son or a daughter? I can't. This shows you how much I watched these movies once ages ago, and I've seen like Halloween 1 tons of times and the new one quite a few times. But anyway, H2O, it's about this new, like, her kid getting hunted down. Her kid goes off to college, and she suddenly jumps back into action to stop Michael Myers, and I think it's cool. It's a bit short. This one's, I believe it's like 80 something minutes, so it feels a bit rushed. Like, especially when Michael just gets introduced, it feels like he's almost like there, and then it's the end, you know. But I think it's pretty good, and I think it ended in a good place with going, right, she kills Michael definitively, that's it. But did she? Oh, because she didn't, because then we have Halloween Resurrection. Now, this is blatant false advertising, because I'll tell you what, Jamie Lee Curtis is in this movie for 10 minutes, and she does not look like that. She's living in a mental institution, and Michael kills her right at the start, which, that's a good way to start your movie. You, like, I guess I'll try to do a psycho thing with, oh, is the music playing? There we go, get the music playing again because we can't be having the silence here. Get a mass shrill voice being the only thing you hear. I kind of like that they kill her off right at the start, because that's very much like Psycho, or, you know, sort of pull the rug out. I'll admire that it does something different. It tries to go for it. So basically, they set up a reality show in the Myers house. So, but you can admire that it does something different. But this movie's still shite. Now, I don't think this one is as bad as the Thorn trilogy, because this one you can at least tell what's going on. They try and do some stuff. I'm not saying found footage, but they try and do the sort of shaky cam stuff, because you have one bits where it's like the cameras throughout the house, you know, so it kind of like Night Trap, basically. Can't believe I'm comparing a fucking movie to Night Trap of all things. Oh, is it dog shit? Actually, no. I'm putting in clearance because it has a fight with, I believe, Busta Rhymes. I'm gonna check that it's Busta Rhymes. And they have a fight with Michael Myers, and he does like big fucking kung fu kicks and shit like that. And that's the final fight, Michael Myers. Thing is, it's dog shit, but I was howling. I was laughing so much at the end of it. So I don't know if I can quite rightfully put it in the dog shit pile, because I had a lot of fun, but it is not a good movie at all. It was Busta Rhymes, just had to confirm that. So after this, the Halloween series went a bit of hibernation, because honestly, after you've killed off, you know, your main final girl, you've had them in a fucking reality show murdering people, where do you go from there? Well, you give it to the guy who done House of a Thousand Corpses, you give it to the guy who done Devil's Rejects, which I kind of like. Devil's Rejects, not a big fan of House of a Thousand Corpses, but anyway, you give it to Rob Zombie. And Rob Zombie done Halloween 2007, I believe this came out in. Now, this movie, remember what I said, the more you know about Michael, the less scary it is? Yeah, this movie, basically half the movie is his fucking origin story when he's a kid. Which, I don't need to know why Michael Myers murdered people as a kid. I just need to know that he just snapped and that was it. Because honestly, it's scarier if you don't explain it. This one, it's a pure grotty movie. Everyone's horrible. Everyone's, you know, it's not a pleasant movie. But that's Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie likes doing that sort of style. I think that style really worked for something like, say, the Texas Chainsaw remake, which I know wasn't Rob Zombie. It was Platinum Dunes. I can't remember who directed it exactly, but it really worked for Devil's Rejects. But I don't feel it worked for Halloween. I don't know. It just wasn't big on it, and it was really grotty. It wasn't a pleasant movie. I didn't like anyone, if you know what I mean, like because everyone was so dislikable, you know. But again, that works for things like Devil's Rejects, but it just didn't work for Halloween, and I felt they over-explained Michael Myers too much. But I can't say it's any worse than any of these. Oh, I will say Tyler Mane was pretty scary as Michael, like, because he was massive. Obviously former wrestler, and played Sabretooth in X-Men, so he had that physical presence, and the mask was really cool. Actually, we'll get to that. But aye, Halloween, probably gotta put it clear and spin, I'd say. Like, I don't know. Actually, what I'm good, I don't know, is it... It's got Ken Foree in it, I'll say that. I'll put it top of clear and spin. I like Ken Foree. He's only a little part, but anything he's in, he's my boy, you know? Anyways. Right, here's the bonus one. So here we have Halloween Night, which for those who don't know, Halloween Night is an Asylum movie. The Asylum release movies, and it's a speciality, that are legally distinct from big blockbusters. This is just Halloween, like, exactly, but it's legally different. It's different enough that it's legally a different movie. Now, this movie is absolute dog shit. It's made on a shoestring budget, but I'll tell you what, it probably made a lot of money because they just released to people who they just release and go. It's people who love Asylum movies like myself. I love watching them because they're inherent. They're just blatant knockoffs who don't really care about copyright. But you get people to buy a DVD out of, like, they'll walk into, like, I remember seeing them a lot in Woolworths, and they go, oh, I don't have Halloween. This looks kind of similar, you know. So, I don't know why I'm talking so much with my hands, because you can't see it, but anyway, Halloween Night is dog shit. But again, all of the Asylum movies, well, nowadays, after Sharknado, they kind of became, like, really cheap, and they don't really care as much anymore. But back then, it was like, oh, you could howl at them, you know, because this one follows like a party that's happening. A party's happening in this big house, like an incomprehensibly big house, and a guy who's got his face all burnt after, like, you know, a Halloween party or something that years ago. He gets out of an asylum and now he's gonna murder everyone in the party. It's, again, just a cheap knockoff of Halloween, but it's pretty fun. Then we have Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Now, are you ready for a controversial one, boysies? So I hated this when it came out. I absolutely hated this. But I've seen it kind of recently, and tell you what, it tries something really different. It's Laurie's in a mental institution after the events of Halloween 1, and she's seeing, like, again, they're trying to bring in more, like, that, I don't want to say curse, like, there's something in the family that's making them crazy, basically. There's a lot of ethereal dream sequences. I love what to do with Loomis, how Loomis is basically capitalizing this success, and he's written a book, and he suddenly feels, and then he gets pulled back into the whole thing. Michael comes back, and it's got my favourite looking Michael Myers, how he's like half the mask is fell off. He's been living in fucking sewers for ages, so he's like grotty and horrible. And I'm gonna be honest, boys, I'm gonna put Halloween 2 maybe top of it's fine. I like it better than the original Halloween 2. And it does something really different. Now, the ending where Michael Myers screams die and then stabs Loomis with his mask off, maybe cut that. Don't really mind that, or don't really want that. But the rest of the movie, it does something different. I'll give it that. You know, it's trying. I can't believe I put Halloween 3 is above Halloween 2 above all of these movies. Anyways, now we get to Halloween, the 2017, I want to say, remake, remake, Legacy sequel, I think they're called now. And I love this movie. I think this is a super effective sequel. They threw out all this shit that didn't matter, like the sister thing, the fucking Cult of the Thorn, all that in the fucking bin. Just simple. After the first one, Laurie it's clearly had an effect on her, and she's like this PTSD-ridden survivor who's just struggling to get over this event happened. Her family's abandoned her. Her granddaughter's just sort of want to reach out to her, and it's really effective. Really good family drama. And then Michael gets out again, and Laurie's like, "That's it, I'm gonna kill him." She's been preparing her family for all the years since it's happened. And I love how it does. There's a shot where Michael Myers is just walking through it. It's like a long shot, and he's just killing people as he goes. Again, he's not got a reason to do anything. He's just doing it. It's really effective. And fuck me, see if they ended it after this. Oh my god, fucking class. I love this movie. I think this is possible. Oh, I'm gonna put it in second place. I'm sorry. Sorry, Season of the Witch. You're good, but you know. And it's a shame, because I was like, oh, if they follow up, this will be class. If they don't, even better, you know. But they're doing a sequel. Halloween Kills, right? That's fine. Let's go with this. I don't like Halloween Kills. It felt really like... It just felt like the characters were thick as shit. Like, absolutely stupid. Laurie does nothing in the whole movie. She's just sitting in the hospital bed. So all the main characters are kind of taken away. Apart from, like, it feels like we're following side characters through the whole movie, and I know they bring back characters from, like, the first movie or whatever. But again, I've not spent time with them, so I don't really care, if you know what I mean. And they all get killed off being stupid. I remember, like, some deaths in it, and then there's bits where, like, everyone chases down this other mental patient who escaped the same night. And he's like a wee short guy, and they all chase him down because they think he's Michael. Michael's like fucking 6.5 foot, and they're just chasing this wee guy, screaming, "Evil dies tonight!" I get what they're going for. They're going with the whole fear makes everyone crazy, basically. They're doing, I just think there are ideas in Halloween Kills, and and the violence gets ramped all the way up. All the way up. I think the start's pretty cool, but I just don't like Halloween Kills. Speaking of that, I like the ending though. I'll give him that, where they hunt down Michael and they beat him up, and then Laurie talks about how it's not the man, he's a symbol, it's fear, and he suddenly gets all fucking like Superman comes up, and that's effective. But I'm still gonna put it in. I'll put it in a clearance bin. Now, they had a third one, which I was like, oh boys, here we go. Can we go out in a high? Because I really enjoyed it. And the music's cut off again, so let's play that again. You know, I really should put it on a loop. But I was like, oh, they can really follow up with Halloween Ends. Speaking of trying something different, Halloween Ends definitely try something different. I was howling laughing at the start of this. Spoiler alert, boysies. They show a bit where it's, again, I like that they try something different where it's this other guy who is babysitting and an accident happens and the kid falls from the attic and lands on the ground. I was dying laughing at that. I was like, oh my god. But, so he's now ostracized by this accidental death. People are treating him like he's this new Myers, which I like that. And then they have him meeting Laurie's granddaughter. That's cool, I like that. But this just takes the most wild turn. He just becomes crazy. It's like there's another movie called Brightburn. Yeah, this evil Superman kid, where that he just does a 180 as well. It's kind of like that. It just goes, oh, I'm nice and happy, and then suddenly, boom, serial killer. It's wild. It's awful. It's so I was literally in shock at some points, going, the dialogue's a state, the directing's a state. And so it's like Michael doesn't matter for all the movie, and then suddenly right at the end, like, oh, let's wrap everything up, bing, bang, boom, he's dead. I really disliked Halloween Ends. I was actually almost in shock watching the movie, how awful it was. Like, I just had this, like, I was sitting there going, every choice they're making here, bar like the first 10 minutes, is something that I wouldn't make. I'm not saying I know better than fucking directors, because I don't, but I was just sort of going, I can't believe we're doing this, and that's why I've got to put Halloween Ends. I've got to put it right at the bottom. And oh god, it's tough. Actually, I'll put. I had some positive things to say about that. I can't say I've got anything positive to say about the Curse of Michael Myers and the Thorn Cult and shit like that. So I think that's the final ranking. So we have actually, let's work this out. Halloween I'll probably put Resurrection above 5. I think I was too harsh on the remake. Yeah, right, we'll go with this. This looks like a good final sort of ranking. So, from dog shit to horror classic, we have Halloween 6, we have Halloween Ends, we have Halloween Night, which is legally distinct from Halloween, but I thought I'd include it anywhere as a wee bonus. We have Halloween 5, we have Halloween Resurrection, we have Halloween Kills, we have Halloween by Rob Zombie, we have Halloween 4, we have Halloween 2, we have Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie, we have Halloween H2O, we have Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, we have Halloween 2017 or 2018, I can't quite remember. One of those years. And then we have the John Carpenter classic, Halloween. So aye, boysies, thank you for joining us. And aye, take care of yourselves, have a good Halloween. I don't know how to end this video. Catch you, see yous!